Well, a warm welcome back to you all. Welcome to cheekytek HQ, aka my home. Welcome to you all. Welcome in. It's been a while since you've seen me, and I apologise for that. But I'm trying to get back and do some more videos. So I thought it was a good start to do a couple of little projects. One being one that I spoke about ages ago, and this was revisiting my parcel depot. Yes, I'm actually going to do the work to it. So we've got a project of the parcel depot being revamped, that's one, and also a new loco. So I think what we'll do, we'll catch me at the dining room table and doing some work, finally. So you join me back at the table, and as you can see in front of me, I have a little Class 33 in Dutch livery. So this is my latest little loco. I haven't bought a loco for probably just nearly a year and a half now, so it's been a little while since I bought something. So this will complement my wagons that I've recently got from the shows past last year. And I was going to go for the 37 in Dutch livery, and that was really what was on my bucket list, and probably still is. But I saw the 33. I haven't got any 33, so really this ties in really well with a lot of the layout that I need to do and some of the stock. This will also tie in very well with the parcel depot that I'm actually doing at the moment. So for now, I think I'm going to do some work to this. I need to get this to where I want it to be on the layout. Now, this is a Helgen Class 33, as I say, comes complete with all this stunning detail, all the buffer beam detail and all the rest of it. You've got coupling hooks in the bag and all that kind of thing. To take the body off, there's no screws. It's really simple. There's a little lug either side on both sides, there and there, and the same on this side. That's replicated. And if you slide a little bit of plastic card inside this side and on this side, just so it lifts the gap over the little lugs that retain the body well, that will just slide off, and it comes off without any clicks or bangs, nice and easy. And then you've got the body off to do what you need to do. I've gently pulled out the interior out, and I've added a little driver, so that's nice and easy, a good thing to do. They're normally quite a pain to do. I've done that. So that's where I sit. All I need to do is weather it. Now, ironically, I see Richard at Everest just done a video on weathering and revisiting his stock, and he done a 37 Dutch livery, which really sort of inspired me, because that's where I sit right now with this. So I'm going to adopt some of his techniques, and there's a lot of videos out there as well that I've been watching, lots of sort of weathering and stuff from you guys. So I've sort of gathered all them together, and I'm going to try and do a little bit of light weathering to this on my new loco. You know me, I like to do these things, but I do think it needs a little bit of aging. So what I'll do, we'll carry on, put a new coupling hook on the end, weather it down a little bit, and we'll see what that looks like back on the layout. So it's time to add some realism to the loco. So I've taken some acrylic black and some water and diluted the two. I'm now going to add this to all the shut lines in the loco and on the roof. So I'm back with the 33. You can see I've sort of progressed with doing the roof. I've made it quite a dirty look on top. It's the first time I've done anything like this. Again, I've only done it with dry brushing effects and using weathering powders with mixed rust, iron ore and black to create a sleeper grime sort of colour, which is this sort of colour there. So if you mix these up, you can get different colours. I might go a little bit browner on that, but at the moment that's the colour I need for this particular part. I've done blacks and put tiny bits of iron oxide in there and then sort of blended the black in that kind of way. I might just give a very light dusting of a black on top of there with a spray gun, just to sort of blend that in a little bit more. But that's the detail I want to sort of be shown underneath. I've carried on with some effects down the side of the Loco. And you can see I'm just doing these bits here underneath the framework. Again, I've done very light sort of dusting around the front of the cab. I don't want it too heavy around there. So with that all said, you can see if I just zoom you in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, it's a different technique. Again, I'm just going to paint, this is the matte varnish over the chassis bit that I want, and I will do the wheels once I finish this. I will come back and do the wheels. Completely cockeyed way of doing it, but it's just the way that I've chosen to do it. So I've done that. I've coated pretty much a little thin layer of matte varnish all over the bogie, which you can see there, and then I'm just going to get my little, just dab that and then just gently tap that in. It will go on and it will come off, and I will add some sort of darker blacks to it to sort of fade it in a bit more. Now that's about all I want. Just put it on and then wash it back off again, or dry brush it off. I'm not going on the side of the bodywork. You can see I've done some grey sort of roof dirt on the side there, and I'm quite happy the way that looks. Dusty put there, put a little bit around there. I need to clean this brush now because it will now pick up the sleep grime, the powder. Put a bit more powder in there. So you can go sort of, you can dip in or dip out however you want. I'm quite happy with that look. That will give it a sort of a dusty sort of effect. That's quite good. I'm just going to get the black, dip in with the black now, and dip that in the MAC coat. And I'm just going to do a little bit of black, something like that. See what that looks like. And then we go into black. This is just black weathering powder. Just dab that on like that. Then I'm just going to take the excess off. So all I'm using is weathering powders, matte coat, varnish, and just come back on top with a bit of like that, making that look like a grease. Alright, and then I'm going to go quite heavy with the black on this bit. I've got some black in there yet. Just going to let that naturally dry in itself. Now pick up some grease sort of look. And of course that's all shaking off underneath there, so any excess will actually drip off, so that's all good. There we go. And then I think we'll put it on the layout. Well, the time has come to put the 33 onto layout. I'm just going to bring it up to the camera. Let's just zoom forwards. I need to slow it down a bit, otherwise she'll shoot past. Drop the power about there, that's on 0. I think I still might have to just stop it there, otherwise, oh yeah, otherwise we'll lose it. There you go, there is the 33. I've weathered it to the best I can do, using some of the techniques that Richard provided in his video at Everard Junction. So certainly some good tips there, and ones that can be utilised. Really happy the way it's come out. I'll say I've done some weathering effects on the front there, as you can see, sort of just as if the rain's washed it down, And if you look from the side, you can see all the other details just where I've smeared the sort of the rain washes down, so it can give that impression of dirt from the rooftop. This looks quite yucky looking at that, but from some of the pictures I've seen, and obviously every roof is different. I didn't like the white roof panel, even though it's part of the model. I wanted to tone it in. All I need to do is just literally get some black sort of matte spray, and I'll just give that a very little spray around there, and just feathering down. I'm not going to do that at the moment because I haven't got the spray gun out, and I've got a few other locos to do. So once I do that, that'll be a job that I do. But all in all, I'm really happy the way this has turned out. A cracking model, performs nicely, absolutely stunning detail. Body comes off nice and easy. Chip goes in really smart. 8-pin decoder, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of weathering on the axle and the framework just to tie that all in. So I think we'll send her on her way and let her go and do some work. Our Class 33 off to do some shunting around the layout. So time has come to finally tackle the parcel depot area. So let's remove the old depot, and it just lifts straight out, and then we'll clear all the bits and pieces that are around and make a nice empty area, and then we will revamp the depot. So this is as far as I've got so far. I'm going to dig out all this here to there. I'm going to pull this section here. So I want this track to come out, and it's actually going to come around this way and sit close to this track there. That's my intention. This will free up a bit more area in here, and then still give me the side little branch line off for the depot, so it creates a separate sort of area. I'm going to carry on doing this off camera because I don't think you just want to see me scraping my elbow in the way, so it'll be easy to show you this. So I'm just going to scrape this out with a flat of a screwdriver, just by chipping away quite a bit. As you can see, it's a little bit noisy, and then I'm going to loosen up the pins and then just manipulate this out and pull this out. You can see I'm just ripping up the last of the cork. I normally PVA glue these down, so it's got a little bit of a bind, but enough to catch where it needs to catch. There we go. Keep some of them little bits out of the way. So we've got a little track pin there, and we've got one there and one there, so they need to come out. Another good way of getting these out is to put a little screwdriver underneath and just gently rock it down, pull it out that way. Again, pair of pliers, screwdriver behind it, and just ease it up, and it pulls out nice and easily. It's an easy way of getting track pins out. There we go. So that's that. I think what I do now is hoover all this area up and see what that looks like, and then I think we'll trim this up and work out what kind of what the track would look like here, what kind of area we've got left ready for the station. Well, that bit will go into there, so it goes up against there, and then I'll create a little bit of a backdrop there for this, just underneath the canopy, so the canopy will fit on there. That's my theory, and then I'll have obviously the factory bit probably come into here and stop in there. I might move this over. I can do that, it's not a problem. I might even just leave it as is, I'm not sure yet. So I've come to the conclusion I am going to make one of these little canopy kits, and as you can see I've exploded all the components out and I'm going to make it up. Now it advises me to take the components out loosely, the scalpel blade cut through, and pop each little section out. That's fine, it's quite easy, and there's a good set of instructions, and then you literally we'll glue them together like so, and you bolt them up, and you've got a little jig that you can actually glue them into. So a very good little kit. So it's a Metcalf kit. So I'm going to make this up. The idea is that I should have a look at it against the canopy I've got there. Now I would like to keep this canopy. I'm obviously just doing a little bit of redesigning on it. I'm going to change this building around, probably going to do it the other way around and have the canopy this side. So I'm going to literally break that down and have a look how I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that just yet, because I want to see what this other canopy looks like just on there, get an idea ready for the parcel depot. So I shall carry on, keep making all the components and see what this looks like, and then I can compare the two, and then I know where I'm going. So time to carry on. So that's pretty much where I'm looking at the parcel depot. That is a little mock-up that I can do on the table here, and obviously once I've done this I will then recreate this scene back on the layout where I can put it all back in and run all the lighting, that kind of things. So that's where I'm looking. I've got obviously a track coming in here, so I might do a dead end there. I was going to work that, but I just want to gain a little bit more space here. So that was the whole plan of this, to give it a bit more of a look. Yeah, quite happy with that so far. So using the wheels brick kits, or the sheeting I should say, I've got some spare bits to use. You can see I'm just sort of placing these all over the balsa wood building. Now cutting this little bit and gluing this to the side there. It's a bit tricky, this bit. Get some glue on there. That's it. Oh, damn, dropped it inside. That's not very good, is it? Oh well. And I've got glue on the door. Never mind. In true fashion, right, just put that in place. Not the easiest of jobs. Oh, I thought no, that'd be alright. Okay, so let's hold that in place. Trying to figure out the best way for this. Didn't really think this through. A bit more glue, I think. Now this is the inside part of the wall, which you can't quite see. I'll just move my fingers out of the way so you can see the two brickworks meet up together. Just pinch it to hold. Right. Bit more glue. Oh slog at this. One of those tricky jobs that you do on camera and you just hope it goes right. Just shows I'm human. Right then, that'll be enough. Let's see how that goes. Put the lid on, put it away. Here we go. Take 2. Right, hold it in place. There we go, that's fixing now. I'll just move that top bit to meet so there's no white gap. That should be it. It's a fiddly one, but once it glues and sets, now I'm using Yoo-hoo glue, which normally fastens within about sort of like about 6 or 7 seconds, and it sort of holds tacky for about 10 minutes, and then it will actually bolt itself to the wood. That's really good for that kind of thing with plastic. Yep, that looks good. Just gently squeeze that. There we go. Right, so what I'll do is I'll carry on with the rest of the building. It's the front of the actual parcel depot. I need to do the side bits, so we'll carry on with the rest. Right, so this is the other side, the side of the actual parcel depot. So I've cut the aperture of another piece of wheel sheeting, and just need to file the edges down. Something you must check as well is just there's like a little embossed logo on the back of these sheets, so it's always good to sort of make sure there's no little bits raised underneath the embossed logo and stuff like that, and some little tiny bits. Just filing them down a little bit. What we'll do is we'll fit that back to the building, run them bits off, always the awkward bits, otherwise you'll find that you won't sit properly and the brickwork will be uneven. That's happened to me in the past, so learning curve here, Gary. Right then, I think we're good on that. So this is the side where the lorries will actually go in. So just add some glue to the balsa wood, again using our Yoo-hoo, and just get a nice little layer of that on. That will squish down. Try not to get it on the table, Gary. There we go, that's all nice. I might have to put a little bit of plastic underneath there just to raise it up, I think, because I don't want any spill. Right, so taking our sheet of wheels, same as the other before. This is obviously pre-cut. Just place that into its position. Now it did actually snap on me, but I just sort of glued it with some liquid cement stuff really quickly, and that's all gelled in really quick, so I got away with that. But again, I'm just pressing this into place and making sure everything lines up on both sides of the wall. That's very important at this stage. Just there, just make sure that the corner is actually nipped in and the aperture fits your balsa wood. Being balsa wood, you can actually just shave off a little bit, so it gives you a little bit of discrepancy to play around. Right, I think that's done. Right, using our plastic magic, I think we'll add a little bit of the liquid cement just to the corners, and that will just bind in that little corner there to melt that all together. So just gently dab that across there, running out of this stuff, and it's really good, this plastic magic, absolutely amazing stuff. And what that'll actually fuse the two bits together really quickly within like 2 or 3 seconds. Give that a push. Yep, just pushing on a bit of plastic. There we go, that's that done. Right, I think next step is to have a look at the whole thing. There we go, that's the two sides together now. That's the only sides you'll see. You'll see the front and obviously the other side. That looks good. I think we'll just add the canopy to this that I've just painted blue and see what that looks like. Check that all fits. So this is the old canopy. That looks alright. I quite like that with the brickwork. All I need to do is paint the top facing of the boards on top of the roof bit there around the side. So I think that'll be the next step, and do some colouring to the brickwork. Okay, using some Revell matte brown, which was 84, I've dabbed some colours on the top, and I've used these two rustic pots as well, because these are actually good to making brickwork. So this is a technique I saw from Paul at Galgorm Hall, and he has a great tutorial and a couple of good few videos on this, so do check out his channel. Now, so I've already gone over with a sponge like this and done the brown in a matte enamel, and I've let that dry. I'm now using the rustic because it's just slightly different tones, and this is acrylic. I'm using these on top in just different places, and again just dabbing on, dabbing off very, very lightly, barely enough to see. What this will actually create, being even it's a rustic material for making things that rusty, it has a very grainy surface, and it does a nice little like brick effect. So by using the dark brown and then a little bit of the orangey colour, it gives you the same effect. You can actually colour in your brickwork on and off. Now, I haven't actually painted the Wills brick sheeting itself. I've left it its natural colour, and then just literally dabbed on the matte Revell colour, the enamel, let that dry in just places. And again, I'm doing the same again with these rusty. I'm just dabbing them on in different places, creating two different tones of brown, and then I shall add the orangey, the light orangey colour on top, and literally try and blend it. Now, being acrylics, using the rustic materials, they're quite wet and they'll stay wet a little bit longer, and I can wash them on and wash them off with ease, but the enamel underneath will still maintain in the brickwork. So same sort of techniques as Paul's used, but I'm just using a different method. Just realistically, I bought these pots to do rusting materials, and for 14 odd quid, you know, they last you a lifetime. So I thought this would be a really good way to use them up, and obviously on brickwork this is a really good idea, I think. So as long as you don't go too heavy, dabbing it on the tissue and dabbing it off, barely any on there at all, and it just brings out slight definition on some of the brick, but it gives it like a sandy effect, texture, that sort of thing. So what I do is I carry on with this, and I think we'll then go to the next steps. Okay, so let's fast forward this next bit and carry on adding the orangey effect for the other bit of the brickwork. Okay, so this is the orange rustic, and as I explained, I just get a clean bit of sponge, that'll do. Dab a bit off, and a bit too much on there. There you go, that's better. Make sure it's not too much, and then just add that to your brickwork, just dabbing it bit by bit, smearing all over, and it's actually picking up the brown acrylic underneath that I dabbed on from the other colour of the rustic, and it's just blending them two bit by bit, creating that sandy stone effect. And just carry on until you've got patches everywhere, just slightly blending. And don't forget, this is water based, so you can sort of ease it off with a bit of water if you make a mistake. So this is quite easy. Okay, like we did the browns, this is the black this time. I have added a wash of white underneath all this, and I'm now adding the black on top. It's the only thing I haven't explained or shown. So I've just done a sort of 50-50 mix of whitewash, just dabbed that in the brickwork in places after I did the browns. Now, using the black, I'm just going to go over and just highlight the front of the brickwork so it shows the slight whiteness underneath in places. This is purely to make it look like it's slightly aged and worn in places where you get dust and dirt collect on brickwork, that kind of thing. This is really what I'm trying to achieve on this. By sort of dabbing the sponge on the corners with hardly any on, you'll get a smearing, like a spray gun effect, which I'll show you in a second. So like I said, just adding a bit more definition to the corners, and you can see I'm just rubbing the sponge at the bottom there, just up and down, just gets that like a spray sort of effect, and it just sort of shows that there's like dirt in the brickwork, just aging it up really. I quite like the dirty sort of industrial look on this building, being it's a post depot. So just really want to get the the dirt in the brickwork where you would probably see it. Just dabbing it in places. That's looking quite good. A bit at the top there. Try not to get it on your fascia boards because you've just painted them. And again on the bottom, just blast it up and down. Just letting the sponge, like dry brushing in a sense, but using the sponge to do the work. And because it's acrylic, it's just black acrylic, rail match, that's all it is. But any black acrylic would work for this. So I think we'll do is carry on with the other bits, and I think we'll just have an overall look at the entire building. So I've finally completed all the brick weathering, and I'm really happy with the results with all the colours that are now added. So I've added some like dirt washes just to look prototypical. So I think now we should go and put it up on the layout. So I brought the components down the shed, and I thought we'll fit it on to see what that looks like. Now we've done a bit of work to it. Still got a long way to go, but I think we'll fit this on to see what it looks like. And this is the area it's actually going to go into. That's the parcel depot building. Let's put that there. And then we get the station bit that'll actually fit in the corner there. I'll bring the camera in a second. So that's going to be that part. So let's put the canopy into its right place, and that will fit something like that. That's what my intention is. That's the overall look at the moment, and then obviously the plastic card canopy that will fit on the top of there. That will fit something like that. Once that's all glued and bolted down, that will give that kind of impression like that. Obviously it's sort of lifted up at the moment, but I shall sort that all out. It's not a problem. It's just very basic. And the reason why it's basic is because I want to add lighting into here. My concept may be some poles coming up the other side there that feed some electricity or some low voltage into the lighting concept, so I can just lift it off like I normally do with the rest of it. So this will light up, and I might add a little light in there. That's something I'll sort out near the end. So the next thing for me to do now is to basically rip up. I'm going to take out this point. I was going to keep it, but I'm going to take this out and then reballast a new bit of track into here. I'm going to do away with this section. That was my intention to keep it, but I think at the moment, the way I'm looking, I should probably take that out. Just make it a straight run down through into the depot itself. Ouch, that really hurt my hand. And then that will give me more area for the hard standing for the vehicles in the parcel depot, because I think at the moment it's just too complicated. And I'm not fitting in what I want. So that's really what I'm trying to achieve in that whole thing. I think less is more, and in my opinion, I think taking this side strip out, I think that would really sort of give me the look I'm after, a nice clean look, as opposed to a messy another bit of track and another hard standing. I don't need hard standing, I've got plenty of track, and at the end of the day it's all about having the trains running around and creating a space for them off the layout, and then to running trains on the layout, not storing trains everywhere. And all that does is create another storage for put another loco. So by getting rid of that, I've actually eliminated the problem of leaving another coach on there or something, and then you'll see more of the actual work into the depot itself. So all that's left for me now to do is to actually bolt the canopy to the actual unit of the building, weather it over to suit the actual building itself, and I'm really pleased the way that's come out. So you guys with your videos really helped me a long way. A lot of the weathering techniques I got from Paul from Gargoyle Hall. He's got a couple of great videos on there of how to do the brickwork, and I strongly recommend going to his channel and checking that out. And I say Paul's got a great little tutorial how he does it. It's really simple, really easy, and I've just basically done the same thing. All I've used is a little bit different. I've just added some of the rust powders, you know, the rust weathering effects, because they're massive pots and they're acrylic, and if you dab them on in light tones, they go a little bit rough looking. They're very matty, and they get a very dull brickwork surface. So they're actually quite clever. Even though it's a rust product, it looks quite good as brickwork, and you can see I've added the definition and a little bits of the black and all that kind of thing. So again, go to Paul Gogoram Hall. He's got some great tutorials of how to do the brickwork, and I can't emphasize that enough. So from that point onwards, it's left for me to carry on, tidy this all up, put some more ballast down, take this track up, and then create a more of a hard standing. I think all that will bolt onto the next video, so I think that'll be a part 2. So a lot more work to do, more work than I actually anticipated, but it's keeping me going and keeping me strong. So it's a great little project. So I think this will be part 2. So I'm going to leave it there for today's video. Carry on, keep yourself busy. Just like to say thank you for everyone for following me and subscribing and keeping up the channel. That really means a lot. Some really endearing people and really endearing comments, so thank you so much. Till next video, we'll catch you on part 2. Take care, and as we always say, happy modelling. Cheerio, guys.